He was the chairman and CEO of GE, which owned CNBC. And I knew that when he came down to the floor, I was going to be the one to show him around and take him to the GE Post. He loved GE and loved GE stock. He knew everything about GE and GE stock. And I thought, well, this is great because the specialist in GE just gave me this great rundown of what goes on in GE stock, who the big buyers are, everything that's, where the volume is. And I thought, Jack is going to eat this stuff up. So I went over to the specialist one day when it looked really quiet. And I said to him, George, because I wanted to tell him that Jack was coming, and would it be okay for me to bring Jack over? And Mike Robbins was in the crowd and he saw me, and I was 25, 26. He must have been, 60. And he said to me, yelled, he said, go away, run along. This is not for your little TV show. And I just remained for a moment. I had real, like cranks in my stomach. I just felt like, all these people are watching me. So I just, turned around and I said, don't speak to me that way. And then I actually did run along. I left. But then I came back with Jack. I had spoken with George, the specialist. He assured me not to worry about Mike Robbins. Then I called Dick Grasso. I said, Dick, it's really not right that this guy humiliates me on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And he said, come up to my office after the close. I sat there knee to knee with Mike Robbins, and he used the whole meeting to just really, belittle me, saying, look, I haven't seen your little TV show, but don't come around me, don't come near me. But it ended okay because for years I was afraid to pass Mike Robbins. It was during the dot-com boom and then the dot-com bust. I always would go around the building, and it was big, 5 rooms. The exchange was really big. But in order to get to my spot, I did not want to pass Mike Robbins because he always had a belittling comment, and I was embarrassed. I felt stupid in front of all these guys. And so I said, let me go around so that Mike doesn't see me and I don't have to walk into him. And then one day, finally, the market is selling off. The dot-com boom is a massive bust. Everyone's losing money. I have to get to my shot immediately. I cannot walk around the building. I have to go straight because I'm late. And sure enough, I passed him and he said to me, save your money. Save your money. You won't amount to anything. You better save your money now. So I was so mad. I turned around and I said, no, you save your money. And then I walked away and I was like, great. I got back at Mike Robbins. Long story short, a few years pass. Finally, Mike Robbins leaves the floor, and I'm thrilled that he's off my back because he was not only on the floor of the exchange, but he was on the board of the New York Stock Exchange. So everybody